Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is, wherever you're coming from. Cowboys Nation, you know the drill. Welcome to the Double XO Show. I'm your host, Zach White. My guy with me, as always, Mr. James Singleton. Old head, what's up, man?
What's up, brother? How the week been, man? How the week been?
It's been cold, man. I got cold and wet. I do not like it. I've been having to work in it all week. Nah, hell no. Not loving it at all.
It sounds like you should be out here in Seattle, brother.
That's a heavy negative, Ghost Rider.
Hey, man, hey, look. We used to cold and wet.
Ooh,
that's what we do this day. That's what we do. That's why we always
like
got
that.
something to. What you sipping on tonight, man? What you sipping on?
Got a little. What's this right here? This is that. I don't even know what the hell this is. Walking stick.
You don't even know what it is.
It tastes good. It tastes good. That's all that matters. Hey,
what you know about this bourbon whiskey? Old Elk.
Old Elk.
Old Elk. It looked like, that's some Old Elk.
Nah, that don't even sound good, man. That don't sound like something I want to try.
Hey, man, we're in the dead of winter. It don't got to sound good.
Right. Hey, we got some people in the house, man. We got my guy Jay Tuck from Cowboys Fans Only. Great YouTuber, man. Make sure you check out all his content. Great guy. We also got Moving the Chains, Marika from Moving the Chains. She's in the house as well. Another great blog. Make sure you check her stuff out too. And we got my guy Nick in the house, man. What's up, Nick? Hey, Nick is a professional, man. Nick is a professional. He knows his stuff. So good to see y'all in here. All right, so we got a few things we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna do a
what's up? What we rapping about tonight, man? I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay,
we ready. We ready.
Oh man. So we got trade, cut, keep segment. We're gonna do that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna do that.
Somebody's mama about to be pissed if they listening because I'm cutting. I'm cutting.
Oh man, I'm ready. I feel like most everybody. I want this to be realistic, right? As far as cutting someone, I don't want it to be fake. I want it to be realistic. Like, how could you legitimately cut somebody? How would you go about doing it? So, I know everybody's already thinking Jalen. So let's try to be.
Y'all leave Jalen alone.
Poor
that brother didn't he just get it? What didn't he get? Wasn't he our Walter Payton team? Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
All right. And we're gonna get into the main part of the show is gonna be the salary cap. We're gonna have a little cap talk. So, a little cap talk about Dak. You can't talk about the cap without talking about Dak. We all know that. So that's going to be involved in the Mount Rushmore. So let's go ahead and let's introduce our guest. We got Frankie and Camber in the house. What's up?
Shout out to Cowboy Nation. Thanks for having me, guys.
Our people.
That's what I'm talking about. How's it going, guys? What are y'all up to, man? I know Cam. I know you're heading to Daytona 500, from what I understand.
Right. Yep. Leaving in the morning.
Ready.
Yeah, life's rough.
Who's your driver, man? Who's your
my driver
is
Martin Truex Jr., the Toyota Joe Gibbs 19.
I have no idea who that is because I don't watch the NASCAR, but it sounds good. We'll go with that.
She's big time.
For all my people.
2017 champ.
This segment ain't fun. Let them go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead, bro. This segment you guys go ahead and run to the fridge, get your shit. This black and go ahead. This ain't for us.
How's it going, Frankie? You having a good night, man?
Hey, thanks for having me here. Shout out to all the Cowboy Nation out there. I see. I don't know how to work this YouTube stuff, so sorry that I can't join the chat, but I'm with you.
You're good, man. So let everybody know where they can find you at, man.
Oh, my handle is Frankie Kenneth L here on Twitter.
All right. Cam, how about you?
At TOO_much Camber.
Too much Camber.
Too much.
Can never have enough.
Which is a racing term, actually. So.
All right, so we got some more people coming in. Mike Tag, the Godfather.
Damn, everybody jumping in here trying to cut people. Y'all slow down. Damn.
They already ready.
We ain't married to no one. We ain't married to no one.
Want to cut? Can we get some trades? Damn.
Heads are rolling. Heads are rolling.
Shit, I ain't seen nobody yet. See, that's how I know we got some fans on that stuff. Ain't nobody yet said we cutting that.
No, everybody's on Jalen. Yeah. Everybody's on Jalen. Got Nick. There you go. Nick says Frankie, who let the guy have an internet connection.
Look, you already know that he coming with the real stuff. See, he giving realistic stuff. Trade Gallup. But hey, Twitter, Dallas Twitter told me during the year that ain't no way we was trading Gallup. Unless we was getting a first, a third, somebody's mama, their brother, Zeke, overinflating that man like that. Man, please.
Hey man, you know what? That's been a topic of conversation for a little bit now with the Gallup trade, and I know everybody at the beginning it was like, no, there's no way that we would ever trade Gallup. But now that we kind of, getting a little closer to things, do we consider that? You know what? First, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let Frankie take the floor. Who are you cutting? Who are you trading? And who are you keeping?
Well, we already know who we're keeping, right? Show their TMC. Show who we keeping. That's who we keeping right there. That. So, James, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. If you thought that this was going to be a cut Dak segment, we ain't playing that today. So, we're keeping Dak. I'm a big pay Dak guy. I've lived through all of the pains of 5-11, and to start over. We hit gold twice. First with Romo, and now with Dak. We can't just throw that in the garbage and start all over again. So I don't care why James. Now, who am I trading? To be honest, I really have not thought about trading anyone unless you're looking at a situation where there's a position of need that later comes into the season. But right now, preseason, I don't have a trade candidate, to be honest. I really haven't thought about that too much. And while we have said that we're probably not going to touch Jalen, it just makes too much fiscal sense to cut Jalen and designate him as a June 1st cut. The amount of money that we're going to save by doing it before the season, designate him as a June 1st, just makes too much sense based on the return on investment that we're getting right now. If we let the season go on, his salary becomes guaranteed, and then you're just pushing either more of an investment into a player where you're not really sure and you're not really confident of what you're getting in return. So to me, Jalen is my no-brainer cut candidate. You do that before the season. You designate him June 1st. Now that money is not going to be available to you for the cap, but because it's going to be in the June timeframe, it's perfect for you to use for all your draft class or any free agents that you want to see, after those first few waves.
Okay.
So that's my cut candidate right there.
Okay.
No doubt. Okay. Cam, what you got?
Oh gosh. Okay, so man, I'm almost on the exact same lines as Frankie here.
Of course you are.
There's something in me that says there might be a team stupid enough to trade us for Jalen, but I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think anybody's that. Well, we can't say anybody's not that dumb. Look what Houston's done. Let's see. I'm cutting Jalen.
Cutting Jalen?
Yeah, I'm cutting Jalen.
Okay.
I know who holds the most trade value for us, but I want him as a wide receiver next year. Our smartest move is to try and trade off Gallup, as far as he's got probably the highest trade equity besides Dak. And I don't know. I guess, you know what? I guess it's going to have to come down to that if we have a whole lot more answers about Dak in this second surgery, what's going on with him, what we're offered for him, before I would completely say that Gallup would be the one I trade, but I don't want to. And I'm paying Dak. We all know that if I get the choice all the way down the line. So quit shaking
You
your
are
head.
GM.
Sorry. You can see me. You guys can see me.
Can
You
I
guys see me? Oh man.
can I see that shirt again one more time, Cam?
Just pay Dak.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Cheers to that. All right.
Cheers.
All right. So we got Nick says, anyone wild enough to trade or cut Tyron Smith? Only other big name I have heard thrown around. Ooh. That's a no for me. That's a no for me, man. I have heard his name thrown around as well. I just think there's a lot left. I know the injuries obviously are a concern, and I do think that we need to start thinking about what we're going to do in the future, the very, very near future. But I'm not that concerned about him yet. But then again, when we talk about the Super Bowl and what happened to Patrick Mahomes, you have to start considering, you have to start thinking about that. What are we going to do moving forward with this offensive line? I know we do have a weak spot, but now we don't even know how Collins is going to come back from injury. So how do we feel about this offensive line right now, and what types of moves can we make during this offseason to kind of shore it up?
So look, let me jump in with mine. Can you brothers hear me?
We can.
Yep.
Okay. So I know you guys all. Let me give it to you, fam. Let me give it to you. I'm cutting. I am absolutely going to trade Dak. Okay. I'm trading Dak because, as Camber said, he holds the most trade value. And if any of you guys listen to me, follow me, you'll know that I think this team needs to get better on defense. And the only way that you get better is you free up salary cap space You free something up to be able to sign these guys. So I'm absolutely trading Dak. I think that this offense has plenty of weapons for all the ish we talk about, Jerry. The one thing that we can say is when this team is healthy, it has offensive prowess. It has, Tyrone Smith, La'el Collins. It has Zach Martin. It has Zeke Elliott. It has Amari Cooper. It has Michael Gallup. By the way, I'm keeping him because I am in the camp that we should get salary cap relief, trade Dak, and oh wow, really?
I didn't know that could come up. All right, well let's
right.
get rid of that private chat at the bottom there.
Anyway, so I'm keeping Gallup. I'm trading Dak, funny. And I am cutting Jalen.
Really?
No way to get better keeping that dude on defense. I'm cutting him.
Are we unanimous on Jalen? It seems like it's just straight up, no brainer, isn't it? Zach is what? You on the fence there? What's up?
I'm on the fence, bro. I'm on the fence, man. At one point in time, I would say, what was it? His good year that he had, 2018, mm-hmm. I believe. Mm-hmm. I think we all kind of believed in him alongside Van Der Esch, and it looked really good. They meshed well, and then it just seems like it's been downhill since then. I'm not 100% ready to throw in the towel on him yet. And there's a lot of things not to like, right? The swiping and without even making a damn play or not being able to find the ball. But I think there's something. I think there's something there, man. I think under the right coaching, if they use him correctly, I think he could be to me, he's an off the ball linebacker. I want him in blitz packages more often. And I think that could bode really well for his game. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, at the beginning of the year, man, I stood on the table for this cat, man. I was all about him. I was defending him. And then, and he kind of let me down. But I think there's a lot left in the tank there. And I think if you can get the right coaching, he's good to go. He's good to go. So now I would like y'all's reasons. And so would Jay Tuck. Why cut Jalen?
Because he's not football smart. I'm sorry. That man is not football smart. He misses the gap. He can't read it. He can't read that at all.
Hey, look, I just didn't look. I'm cutting Jalen, and it's much the same way. Look, I think and I see some of the comments off to the side. Look, man, I'm looking to get dogs on this defense. I'm looking to get dudes that are stout and that they come downhill. When we watched the Super Bowl, one of the things I noticed, and I don't even know the cat's name, I know his number, 45, for the Bucks. You see that presence and how he was all over the place, and he looked intimidating. He looked stout. He was coming downhill and bringing wood, and that's not his game. I don't like Jake. We have a bunch of soft-ass dudes on this defense. I'm sorry. And I'm tired. I'm tired of all the marketing and all the stuff and nobody that's bringing that fire. And you know how I know? Because the first and only dude that we saw bring wood was Donovan Wilson. And you see how it looked? When we saw him bring it, everybody was like, ooh, that's what I'm looking for. You need nasty at the linebacker position. You don't need finesse. And Jalen Smith is a finesse football player, right? And I want stout, I want nasty, I want downhill. And none of those attributes describe him. So that's why he would be going for me.
One thing that I'll be interested to hear is, and this won't come out in public, but, Dan Quinn being a head coach from a rival team that played us, I would really like to give him some truth serum and ask him, how did he attack our defense? And I guarantee you, he probably saw exactly what we see every day. Mm-hmm. And he exploited Jalen, and he went at Jalen. So now that he's coming to be a coordinator, I'd like to see how much of an advocate he's going to be to keep him or to tell Jerry and Steven, hey, look, to be honest, that's a weak link right there. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's put that money into a new investment. I'll get you a player that can replace you and go much further than he can take us. So that's kind of like what I would like to hear.
You know what you just said to me that was really interesting? If you look, and because football is a scheme game, right? You're always looking at personnel and you're trying to scheme weak links. Do you know how many players on our defense that an offensive coordinator can literally build a week's worth of, hey, we're going to go after this player? I mean, think about it. Look how many players we got at different levels that they literally can attack. And look, I'm not trying to, look, Jalen Smith is, for all accounts, that's a good brother, right? He's a good dude. But man, he's a sorry football player. And I'm sorry, that's just is what it is. And I'm getting tired of being able to be schemed and attacked week after week. In 2019, that was supposedly his great year. I won't get into the Byron Jones things, but the reason why, look, he was getting attacked. He was schematically getting attacked. Him and Cheeto was literally game planned for almost every week. So, look, that dude got to go, man. This ain't the show that we getting all sentimental and all that other bullshit. It's just time for him to go. And I want Stout. Man.
Yeah, to a lot of the comments we have coming up on the feed here is what do you have at depth? What do you have at depth behind Jalen? I mean, what do you have a injury prone? Oh, here's Cam. You have a injury prone. Well, you have two injury prone linebackers, an LVE, and Sean Lee probably won't even be here next year. So exactly,
yeah, he's not even
makes the point. What do you have here next year?
Okay, you ready? And therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem. You don't know. The coaching staff, look how long they took to play Donovan Wilson, right? We don't know what we got, but we cannot be afraid of this organization is always doing stupid shit like that, right? Where they don't play the younger players and they're always going, you know what I mean? They did it with the punter. They did it with the kicker. They always are always too late with getting young guys in there. I actually like Joe Thomas, I believe. I thought he was another dude that was pretty stout at the linebacker position, right? So, look, I know, and I'm a big advocate, and we're going to get into what we think this team needs in free agency, but I think they actually need to go out and actually double down. I think they need to get a linebacker in free agency, and they need to get one in the draft. I think it's that thin and that bad at the linebacker position, which I think is the most critical position on defense.
I agree with that. Yep.
Interesting conversation. Yep. Okay. So we're gonna go down that path. So say a linebacker falls to you at 10. What are you doing?
Taking him, especially if it's Michael. I look at Frank.
He's gonna straight.
Yep.
I know the name you're gonna say, so you already know my feelings on him. No.
So how do you guys feel about Micah Parsons? How do you guys feel about him?
It's not even him right now, to be honest. I think at number 10, I see number 10 spot as no man's land for this team. I'd rather just do a trade back and try to get into a situation where more players are valued better at that position. Now, if I'm stuck, if I can't find any dance partners, I am not selecting the Michael Parsons. He'd be nowhere near my map.
Why? I want to know why.
First of all, he's an off linebacker, and I definitely don't want to do it at number 10. I probably don't even want to do it at first half of the first round. I'll have to be somewhere in the mid-teens to really look at a offline linebacker. Now, a linebacker that I would be more interested in would be the Jeremiah Koromua JOK. Now that's my dude right there, because I really see him as a star within the Quinn scheme that we're going to implement.
I like him too.
But Parsons is really. I'm not big on the player. Plus, I hear he has a little baggage. I don't know too much about what baggage he brings. There's some character questions with him, whether it's a immaturity thing.
Oh, come on. You know the Cowboys love character questions. That's our MO, man.
They probably have a top 5, rank on him, knowing them.
Yeah, man. I love the talent. It's just I don't love the lack of experience. Could he become something? Yes, I think so. I think he'll be a pretty good linebacker in this league at some point in time. But like you said, to take him at 10, I'm not sure. So you got Nick says, if you want another athlete project at linebacker, Parsons is your guy. I'll take a football player later in the draft and be just fine. And there is something to that, because I've actually seen one of the comps on him was Jalen Smith. So I don't think we want to go down that path.
Notre Dame Jalen was awesome. Notre Dame Jalen was awesome. So if you're compared to him at Notre Dame, that's a compliment. The problem is we know what happened before he got to us and with this player.
No, I mean the athletic ability is there. Again, he's a talented player. I just it's going to take too much time right now, and I don't think we can afford time right now. Some time is not on our side. So diving into why we are all here, salary cap talk, baby, salary cap, and you can't talk salary cap without talking about Dak Prescott. How you feel about that, James? How you feel about that? Are you okay? Are you okay right now?
Well, now he's got nothing to say. Now he has nothing to say.
Hey, look, Twitter. I got attacked today. Y'all, look, I don't know if y'all saw it, but they came after me. And I got to tell you, you can't be coming after me in my month. Okay? You got to slow it down. Y'all got to be way more polite than some of y'all try to come after me. Look, man, damn. Y'all know that I'm just one that I'm about this team. I'm not about a player. And I'm sorry, I don't make apologies for that. And I don't, I like Dak, you know what I mean? Obviously as a leader and, you know, as I respect what he's done for the Cowboys, but I'm done with all of the, you know, of wanting, I thought he took a position, I think that turned me off these last 2 years. And I know a lot of people, man, are solidly in the, we should have paid him after 2018. But when I look at him and when I look at these other quarterbacks that have gotten these contracts and what it's done to their teams and the success rate, I don't see it. So I don't think that we should be beholden to paying Dak Prescott top 3 NFL money, not just a lot of money, the top 3 or 4 paid player in the NFL. I don't think we should do it, nor do I think we have to do it. And if you're in the camp that resonates or resides with you're about the team, how could you do that when you can clearly make this team better by trading him? And they're in salary cap.
What's the number one rule in football when you're building your team? What's your number one rule?
Look, I only said that because of the comment. He said, if someone said salary cap hell, I'm logging off. Salary cap hell.
Nick leaves the room.
Nick.
Stay, Nick.
You don't have to leave, Nick.
Stay.
I'm just messing with you. I know they're not in salary cap hell, but
love it, Judy. Love it.
Yeah, I know everybody wants to pay Dak, and I want you guys. Look, the purpose of look, Nick says, "Watch it, Daryl." The purpose. My bad. Hey, brother, we on the same side. You know what month it is. Don't come at me like that. Shit, have a drink with me.
So James, if you don't want to pay him, what is your plan then?
Look,
so you're gonna let him walk? You're gonna let him walk? Is that your plan?
No, I would trade him because I think he brings draft capital. I would trade Dak. I would find. Look, I think there's enough thirsty teams around the league, and I do think that there's legitimately 3 or 4 teams that would give us what we wanted in a trade and have the salary cap room to pay him. Now, if you guys, again, I would say this. I think I wouldn't trade Dak if we didn't have as much offensive talent as we have. But I think that this offense could easily, just like we did with Dak, it's the same blueprint, the same thing that we did with Dak in 2016. I would love for them to trade Dak, get some relief on that cap so that we can pay some defense. That's the whole thing with me. And then I would literally have all that draft capital and I would try to maneuver from 10 to get, I'm a big fan of Zach Wilson. I would plug Zach Wilson in this offense in a second. And get me 2 defensive players for that salary that I would save by paying Dak.
And what's the percentage of the rookie quarterbacks that actually work out? First round draft pick quarterbacks. We talked about this. What was that percentage that actually pans out?
I don't know. What percentage was Dak in?
No,
what percentage?
Definitely in the minority of it.
So he was a 4th round draft pick that we plugged into top 5 offensive talent, and he has success. So you guys are really gonna sit up here and tell me that the likelihood of a 1st round talented It's less like y'all.
Yes,
Look.
No. We went over this.
Go ahead. I don't care.
No.
Look, every one of these quarterbacks, their future and their production is based on the culture, the organization, and the coaching they go to. You can talk ish about all these quarterbacks that fail. I'll tell you, then they went to garbage ass coaches and teams and organizations. Okay, there is very, very slight differences between these guys that have success and these guys that don't. These are NFL caliber players, and they are badass. And I believe that you can plug a Zach Wilson in here, and we would have success because of the way that this team is built.
You just want to read that last comment? Just want to read that last. Can somebody read that last comment for me?
What if he does?
I got it. What if Wilson turns out to be Manziel? We got lucky with that. We won the damn lottery.
See, we didn't. We didn't get lucky with Dak. We got an NFL caliber. We did not get lucky with Dak, guys. We took an NFL caliber position player and plugged him into a great culture with great weapons, and he had success. That is the formula. You guys
all right, James,
every quarterback in.
So let me troubleshoot your rationale here. So you don't like Dak, do you? You don't think he's the answer?
I do.
Hold on. Yet you think that he has the trade value to get you everything you need in return. We're talking out of both sides right there.
Nah, bro, that's what Twitter.
So on one side, you're saying he sucks, but then you're saying another team is going to give me the money, the capital that I need, as if they know that he is better than what you think. So that doesn't make any sense, James. It doesn't make any sense. And all of Twitter says it all the time.
That's right. You getting rid of our only 5 viewers, man. You gotta settle down.
Yeah. So look, you ain't gonna let him walk. You're not gonna let him walk. That's for sure. Now check this out. Check this out. All these teams.
Frank. Speaking of this comment here, go ahead and let them know how we can afford Dak. Let everybody, let Twitter Nation and Cowboys Nation, let everybody know how we can afford Dak Prescott.
You know what's crazy with the pay Dak, don't pay Dak is that all his naysayers will tell you, you pay Dak, it handcuffs this team and we can't do nothing in free agency. And I'm telling you that is the complete opposite. It is the complete opposite, because if you don't pay Dak, you've got to tag him. When you tag him, you're going to put $38 million on the cap that very same day. And then you really are handcuffed. So really, that's like speaking backwards when you say, if you pay Dak, you can't do nothing in free agency. It is the complete opposite. First of all, once you pay Dak, you can structure his contract that his year one money is half or more than what you're going to tag him with. So I ran some dummy numbers. I'm no agent, but in my mind, I knew that this could be done. So I just threw some numbers down, and you can really bring his salary cap down in the teens. I went kind of conservative, and I had his first year cap at 22, and I think his second year cap at 38. There's nothing that you're going to do with a new quarterback that extra money that you think you're not going to have is going to help you out. So it's the complete opposite. Once you sign him and lower his salary cap down to 22, you really only have to find a little bit more money to sign him to that contract. But it gives you so much flexibility that now you don't have to cut players that you might have kept, but you're going to be forced to cut just to get under the cap to tag him. It's just too restraint. You have too many restraints if you get over here on 9 March and you're forced to tag Dak. I'm very, very convicted that the Cowboys are highly, highly motivated to avoid tagging Dak. So you're going to start seeing more and more chatter come late February when that window opens, and until 9 March, they will know whether Dak is going to be on this team or not. They will know. And if on 9 March it looks close, then you tag him exclusively and you continue to work on for a couple of more weeks. However, if you know that this is Todd Francis holding ground and they're still bickering over this 4 to 5 years, and it doesn't look like any side is going to give in, if I'm Dallas, I use the non-exclusive tag and just basically protect myself. If Dak wants to find a new contract, maybe I can listen to those offers and maybe I can match them. And if not, then I'm protected with some compensation. Because a exclusive tag Dak is not going to sign that. He's not going to sign that until you either put a contract in front of him or until he decides that he's going to play on that tag. But he's not going to give you the leverage of signing that and then turning around and trading him to your team of choice, not his. Because once he signs that tag, he gives you all the leverage to do that. And Dak is too smart for that. He's not going to do that.
Right. And all the chaos that's kind of surrounding, recently when he followed the Washington football team on Instagram. I think that was more of like for show. I think it just mainly to get Jerry's attention. But the part that's concerning to me is there's some things surfacing about a second surgery for his ankle. So right now, if I'm Jerry, and this is just speaking realistically, I'm a little nervous. And if we can all hope and pray that he comes back and he's everything that he was, but you can't help but not be somewhat concerned about that injury. And I know it's not off of his planting foot to throw, but it's still a bit of a concern. So how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel Dak after injury?
Oh, I'm worried about it, how long it's going to take us to actually see him on the field. We can take the medical staff's word for it. They're the same ones that gave us the word about Jalen. But we can take their word for it. But honestly, at the end of the day, we're not going to see it for another couple months, him on the field, throwing the ball, what's happening. And we're way into the process by the time that happens. So that absolutely does make me nervous.
Yeah. And I think even Jerry is kind of waiting to see, right? They want to see how he moves around. They want to see how he does. So I think that's another concern. So last time we had this little conversation, Cam, I believe Mr. James over here wanted you to be able to come up with 50 million. Was it $50 million?
Yeah, he wanted his money.
50. You got to give me 50.
How are we gonna get this $50 million? Did you get a game plan with that?
I think we're good. I think we're good. I mean, we're getting.
You want me to help you, Cam? I got you.
I mean, we're 12 to. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so that's what we're doing lifelines. Right. Call a friend. Okay, go ahead.
We already got 12 to 15 on Amari right away. Amari's got enough room, everything like that. That's easy peasy. We got that. So if we cut Jalen, didn't we determine 9?
7.
6. 6.2. 6.2 back.
A 6.2. Okay.
So the problem with that 6.2 is you can't use that for the active free agent period. No. Because the money's not it's not released to you until June 1st.
That's right.
Right.
But look, can I come in here and just do a call a friend? All right, so
lifeline.
So we start the year. So today, they estimate somewhere about a 180 floor cap. It could come in a little bit higher than that, and it can't go below 75. So if the season started today, the estimates say 180 cap. The Cowboys, because of all their rollovers, their dead cap, and all these things, they start the year with 18.4 of open space in the cap. Now, 18.4 can't get you to tag Dak. It can't get you to do anything in free agency. So they must open contracts. So the Cowboys have already acknowledged that they have to restructure contracts. So I went in there and I did for them, and I was able to open up $50 million. So for example, the 18.4 becomes 52.4 of open cap space. You use 22 for Dak because on my signed Dak plan, he gets only 22 off the cap, and you still have $30 million after paying him to use for your entire free agent period, or whatever maneuvers you need to do.
Frankie,
I only used 3 contracts to open up $50 million. That's it.
Frankie, you had him with a base salary of $2 million.
Who
in your structure? Dak.
You
had his salary. Dak. You had
his year one salary because he gets paid a signing bonus.
17, right? His 17, but he still show me another contract that's had that salary even on top of their bonus on it. Show it to me. What other
I think Russell Wilson's is structured that way, to tell you the truth. I think Russell Wilson took little money, big signing.
He took $65 million on day one, and he pushed his money out to his third and fourth year, because he only did a 4-year contract.
He did an extension. He did an extension. It is different.
But the 4-year contract on the extension was the money was backloaded for his salaries, because he took early. Yeah. He took an early bonus. Unlike Watson, because Watson only took like $22 million signing bonus, and he basically leveled out his contract where he gets paid. He hits the salary cap really high on every year on his cap. Like he's 37 and 38-ish. That's what I wanted to avoid with Dak, because if your intent to just stay with that 4 year, and I kind of restricted myself to the 4 year, thinking that's the worst case scenario. I really don't think they're going to agree to a 4 year. I think the situation has changed and a lot of parameters have changed, and I think 5 years is what's going to come into play. And if that becomes the holdup, I don't see the team giving in to 4. I really don't, regardless of whether they can do it or not. So I think that the 5 years is going to come into play, which is just going to make all the numbers and the payoff a whole lot easier.
So some of the comments, I don't know if look, I saw yours 4, and I know that you took that guaranteed and split it out evenly at what, 17 or 20 per year was the cap hit for the signing bonus, and then you had the base salary.
I did 2 options. I did one where it was a high signing bonus of 80. That is market setting, that is historic. And then I did a second one that just edged out the 64 that Wilson got, and I gave him, I think, it's 68. Just over that. Now the 68, I think, came out in an average of 12.5 for every year or something like that, or maybe that was the 17, and the 80 was 22.
That was for Watson's contract, though, right? Was it a similar?
No. This is the little 4-year makeup contract I did for that.
Okay.
If you pay him 60, see, the reason I use the high signing bonus is because that allows you to make his first 2-year salaries very low, because you basically are advancing him those salaries. Now they're guaranteed, of course, and helps that imaginary number that people love to hit you with, which is this APY. And I'm gonna tell you, APY is BS, because unless you actually live that entire contract, that API never comes into play. It never comes into play. For example, I forget what they keep quoting on Zeke, 16, 19, or whatever. He's never going to see 19 million paycheck on that contract, because I don't think that he's going to be on this team beyond maybe year 22.
Okay, so let's say we get Dak signed to that 4-year contract, and from your, I believe you said 22 million is what we could have left in that first year.
No, so the first year hit is 22 on his contract, and it's not an extension, so that's another restriction that the team has, and that's why 5 makes more sense to Dallas, because all of the other 4-year extensions, they still maintain 5 years of control on the player, and they can distribute those monies. We're not going to have that luxury, and of course they made that decision by not extending him. Now there is no such thing as an extension. They can only sign him to a contract. Restricted by that, and that's why the 5-year is more palatable for the team, because fiscally they can spread the pain around. My 4-year contract makes it very, very risky in those later years, but you're expecting those salary caps to, give you some relief down the road. And the second-year cap is high, but you're probably going to renegotiate that anyway in a turn around and make that a signing bonus, so that year's cap goes low.
This year's cap is
but anytime
at 198. Am I right? Is it 198 this year?
No.
I think it's going to come in about 182 ish.
Yeah, they're saying 175 to 185 is our window.
Okay, so I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but let's say we do make this work. We restructure some contracts and we get Dak signed to that 4-year contract ultimately. If you can go out and you have an opportunity to get several different players on the cheap, or one in particular player, who is it? What free agent is it, and why? And also, how can you make it work salary wise?
So I've been very very adamant that my number one priority in free agency is the D tackle. I think that the way the draft works, you can probably fill some of those other needs with a better player and start or that can perform earlier through the draft. But D tackle, even the most elite, you talk about Vita Vea, even the most elite D tackles, they take their time to become impact. Vita Vea didn't really start hitting the stats until middle of the second year. Quentin Williams, the same thing. So drafting a D tackle for my immediate needs is not the priority. So I want that to go through free agency. And my pet cat in free agency is Dalvin Tomlinson. And I just think that now with opening up some cap space, market value for him, it's somewhere around $8 or $9 million. But again, when you sign a free agent of his caliber, you're not paying him $8 million that first year. That's the APY that you got to pay him. You can even make his first year lower than that, and then you kick in some stuff down the road a little bit. But that's my pet cat, and that'll be maybe more top priorities on free agency.
Okay, Cam.
Oh God, so I don't want to draft a linebacker at all, and I would go after KJ Wright in Seattle. He's free agent. I think he'd fit in quite well. His contract was right about. His last contract was 2 years for $14 million. And he's one of Quinn's boy. I mean, please give me KJ Wright.
Damn. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
You can get KJ for the same money, maybe a little bit more, that you're saving by cutting Jalen, and you're getting a better player, probably a more compatible player.
Done. Sign it up.
He is a little on the wrong side of the, I say, like we all are, but I believe that he can upgrade you at that position.
Yeah, I definitely think he can.
That's nice. I love that. I love that pick. What about you? James?
Y'all gonna put baby in the corner. Look, I'm just not. And look, it's just how it is tonight. No, man. Look, I'm just the. I believe again that I would rather, if you're asking me, I would rather the team save the money with Dak and go after two high-priced, high-caliber free agents. That's just my position. Hold on. I'm gonna let you have the complete floor. We're not gonna interrupt you. Give me your 4-year plan. If you're telling me you're not gonna sign Dak Prescott and you're gonna trade him or whatever it is you're gonna do, I want to hear your 4-year plan. Now, like it or not, here's what I will acknowledge with Frankie. I will tell you, brother, that on paper, and it all depends. Look, you guys know we can sit up here and we can, as fans, we can go through all the yiddy and the yada. But there's 4 people in that room negotiating the structure of a contract. And if it was that easy and that simple, it would have got done, because it does make sense. Frankie, I will give you that, brother, that the numbers make sense. And if the structure,
there's some egos, there's some hidden agendas, I believe, that have gotten us to this point. I'm convinced of that. I'm not a big fan of Todd France and what he's brought to the table here. So I don't believe that it was an impossible thing to do. I think there was no negotiation in the best of faith, because I think there were some hidden agendas.
Well, look, we all, from what we know about it, man, we thought they had a deal last year after that Miami game, and from what we heard, the agent pulled it. And I just don't like the
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
I don't like the negotiate. Everyone gets on Dallas, and I'm the first one to get on this team. We know that they got a weak front office, but the optics don't look good from Dak's side either. I think both sides have been hardline negotiators. And look, I'm just sorry. I'm rocking with the team on this one. I think at the end of the day, the team, look, that's Jerry's money, and he got a right to spend his money how he want to spend his money. And look, they see the player. They see all of that, you know what I mean, every day. And there's something about Dak that team, that organization has saw. And guys, please don't pretend like it's not just Jerry. Dak is very polarizing when you speak outside of the Dallas fan base. And there's a lot of people that says that Dak is great, right? But there's also a lot of pro inside NFL people and fans that are very, very leery about that guy. And for someone wanting that kind of money, and Camber, look, this goes to your point when you talk about the hit ratio. Guys, we have not seen these contracts work out. What percentage of these contracts have we seen quarterbacks with these huge contracts take their teams to Super Bowls and win them? We haven't seen it. So to argue that Dak's going to be that guy, I get it. I'm in the fan base. We're all part of the fan base. But we haven't seen it play out. What makes it see? What is it that we think it's going to be different for us? It's like I feel like you guys are looking at the landscape. Everybody else has failed, but Dallas is going to do it. That's what you're telling me. Everybody else has failed, but Dallas is going to do it. They're going to be the team to pay the quarterback, you know what I mean, this type of contract and go to the Super Bowl and win it. I ain't seen it nowhere else. I see Russell Wilson. Wilson right now talking about, hold on. I see Russell Wilson right now with this contract talking about and complaining about how he's tired of getting hit because the team can't invest resources on the offensive line. Well, let me tell you something, brother. When you take $65 million and you take up that huge percentage of the cap, that's what happens. You see what happened with Carson Wentz? They don't go out, right? I mean, they got, a lot of injury concerns, no depth. Guys, this is what happens. And I'm rocking with the team on it. I would rather, and Zach, your question to me is, look, do the numbers work? Yeah, they do. And if they work out something reasonable, okay, look, I'm all with it. You know what I mean? I'm in the fan base, but I would rather, because I've seen 5 years of it. I say that Dak has had 5 years. I don't blame the defense. This team has spent a 2-to-1 offense to defense. We haven't had a first-round draft pick on defense. I think Leighton Vander Esch is the only one. All of the free agent money, all of the draft capital has been spent on the offense. So you know what the responsibility, or who I feel like the side of the ball that should be winning you games? Offense. I don't blame the defense. You get what you pay for, right? And we have spent $60-some-odd million of the cap is dedicated to defense. And I'm just looking at the teams that have a lot of success, and they tend to build their teams around badass defense, solid run game, and clutch. I'm not talking about being inept. And if we're talking about that, that's all I'm saying is that this defense has too many holes that we don't have enough draft capital to fix it in 1 year. It needs to go into the free agent market. It needs to stop getting these older KJ Wrights, Gerald McCoy, Dontari Poe. They're always getting these retreads and these old, on the back end of their career guys. We need to get this 26, 27-year-old durability, right? Durable, stout, you know what I mean? Just, badass defensive players. And guys, we all know that they need 4 or 5 players on this defense in terms of an upgrade in talent. I think there are 4 or 5 starters on defense. And if I'm going to have that premise, then I'm sorry. I know it's not the popular premise. Actually, not sorry. I would trade Dak for the opportunity to get better on defense. And I think this team has a better chance of winning by following that formula. That's just my premise. That's my position, bro.
How do Dak to sign a tag for trade? What's your approach? What's your strategy? Because Dak basically controls his own trade location.
Mm-hmm. He does.
So what's your approach?
Again, we all know that you can't trade him without him signing that tag. That's why I think they got to go non-exclusive. And if they don't sign Dak here soon, in the next, to me, week or two, I say Jerry does have the leverage. And you say, look, I'm putting the non-exclusive on you. And you can choose not to sign it or not. But it's in your best interest to go out and find a team that's going to pay you, because we're clearly – they got to acknowledge that they've been clearly unable to agree with Dak and his representatives on the structure, whether it's years, whether it's language, whether it's money. They have clearly not been able to do it. So they should go to Dak and go, look, then you go out. I'm giving you the permission. Go out, find a trade partner. And if they're willing to give me 2 first-round picks, you negotiate a structure of a contract, and we'll determine whether we can match it or he walks. But I don't know what's wrong with that. I say that's the best play, and that's what I would do. I would slap the non-exclusive tag on Dak at this point. I think it's good for the player and it's good for the team.
But are you going in with that, that point of view, or are you drawing a threshold that if this happens, that's your recourse, or you are right now convinced that is what the team needs to do?
I think that's what they should do right now. They've been trying to agree to a contract for 2 years. 2 years. And I think, again, guys, the responsibility lies on both sides. I'm not going to pretend that the front office has not. They offered Dak what would have amounted to a top 4 quarterback contract. And he walked away from $100 million in guarantees over years. I don't believe it. And I think there's something behind the scenes, whether it's ego or something more to it. But somebody is lying to the fan base, whether that's the Dallas front office or whether that's Dak and his representatives. But we all know that something don't smell right. You don't take 2 years to sign what you think is a franchise quarterback. So Jerry is saying one thing, but the actions of the player and the organization are saying quite another. So yeah, Frank, I'm saying I'm done. I would go in telling him I'm not even negotiating with you anymore. You're getting the non-exclusive, and you go negotiate with another team to set your value. That's what needs to happen here. We can sit here and argue all day about who we think Dak is. Let the league tell us. Let the other teams tell us what his value is.
There's a few things that go on with that, though, too, because say you just sign him to the franchise tag and then do a trade. You would have to do a sign and trade, and that would almost have to be where a team would agree with kind of the deal that you're giving him, because no team is going to want to trade a bunch of first-round picks for a quarterback who's got just a 1-year contract, right? So,
well, that's how that would work.
That's exactly right.
I understand what James is saying, and to me, that's my break glass option. That is, I get to 9 March, and this thing is not going anywhere. Then I decide that I'm gonna non-exclusive tag him, and then he goes and negotiates his own contract. So there is no sign and trade situation going on. He's doing all the work.
Right.
And there's a recourse for you to match or just get the 2 first-round draft pick compensation, and that's the team protection. I'm not walking in with that not necessarily option, but that's not my preference. My preference is to get him signed before 9 March, because even in a non-exclusive tag, that $38 million gets locked up until he signs a deal. So you right now are paused from going after any free agents that you might need. So he's really not helping you that much until he signs. So there's not a lot of upside either.
You know what, guys? Let's talk about this for a second, because the thing that we've got to pay attention also is we got to pay attention that the quarterback market is already happening. And if Dak or the organization, if they sit and they watch their other partners make their moves, it's like musical chairs, right? There isn't going to be a trade partner. There are only so many teams that need a quarterback and have the salary cap to negotiate and pay what Dak wants, right? There's only so many teams. And if you sit and if you go all the way to March 9th, right, Frankie, what if you're seeing already Indianapolis, Chicago, Washington? Because I think those are your 3 primary teams with the cap space, to go out and want a Dak. But if they already make moves around you and they wait till the 9th, that date you're throwing out, what if there's it hurts both sides. I think that's why I said you do it now, so that I think the organization should be fair to Dak. And if they're not going to sign him and give him what he wants, then don't use up the time and let all the other teams make moves around you. That's why I'm saying do it now. Those guys have had 2 years. You could actually sign them right now. They could sign them right now. What are they waiting for?
They can agree to terms.
Yeah.
They can't sign them, but they can agree to terms. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What I'm saying is they can negotiate and agree to a contract right now.
Yes.
Okay. So why March 9th? Why use up that time, especially when what's odd? I'm going to tell you another thing, guys, that I find odd. Every day on Twitter, you hear all these trade rumors. You're now hearing about Russell Wilson, but you don't hear them. You don't hear teams calling Dallas and inquiring about what they're going to do with Dak. And that just is intriguing.
They can't. Look,
yes, they can.
You can't. Yes, no, they can't. No, they can't.
Absolutely, they can.
He is a free agent. He is a free agent, and that will. First of all, you don't know if they're doing that or not. You don't know. You don't know what's happening behind closed doors. But first of all, they can't just arbitrarily approach, a team that knows that the player is going to be tagged. So that's not the way that's going to work.
Okay, so you're saying they can't do anything. Look,
that mean like a form of tampering.
No, that's not.
Well, it isn't tampering yet. If they go for him straight, because really the tampering period is going to start the first. Remember, there's a so the league year opens up, and then there's a legal tampering period where only.
But the league year hasn't opened up yet.
No. I think the league year opens up somewhere between March. I think it's like March 7th, 8th, or something like that.
Right. So, guys, here you can start applying the tag on the 23rd this month.
On the February 23rd.
Right. February 23rd.
Yep. That is when that starts, right? So that's the date. I think they have until then to agree.
Yeah, but I think they need extra time. First of all, you got the injury working on. Maybe he has to go to some medicals. There's no rush to do it on the 23rd. You just allowed to do it. But I believe that they start sensing how the situation is.
Read what Marcus is. Read Marcus's, Zach. Read Marcus's take there. Yeah. The team can allow a player to talk. Yeah, they can allow.
The team has to allow it, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But they're not going to do that. How are you going to allow a team to talk to a player that you're trying to negotiate to keep? That doesn't make any sense. No, the minute you want look there, the minute you allow a team to speak to that, you're already telling him that you're not interested in keeping him, and you don't want to do that right now. You don't want to do that right now. Everything that the team is say again, because I believe that they're interested in keeping him. Okay. I think they want to keep him. I think they know what they have, and I think they want to keep him.
Then why haven't they signed him to a contract?
It takes two. It takes two sides. It takes two.
Have we seen another quarterback go through this, this level? Have we seen another franchise quarterback go through this long of a negotiation?
Kirk Cousins.
Thank you.
No, Kirk Cousins didn't stay with Washington.
I know.
He went
on.
He got tagged twice.
But he got tagged twice, and it actually went on for a long time.
It actually went longer because he was actually tagged twice. Dak is just about to be tagged twice. So. But that's neither here nor there. I believe that the team knows what they have. I think they truly value him. And just like every negotiation, they want to win it. And they're playing hardball on their end, and they're playing with a really hard baller in Todd France on the other. Dak has hitched wagons because Dak is not thinking about 5-6 years right now. Dak is a brand. Dak's thinking 10, 15. He's thinking beyond the NFL. He's hitched his wagon with his business partner, Todd France, and he's letting Todd France roll with this. And I do hold Dak accountable. Ultimately, he's the one that has to answer for it. But I believe Todd France had a hidden agenda to keep Dak on the highest salary demand possible, the longest. I really do. He now has his own agency. He moved away from CAA. If Dak had any doubts about how France is negotiating, he had his chance to stay with CAA and go with another agent, but he stayed with them. So that tells me that he's fine with what Todd France is doing, but I believe that things have changed now. And if 23 February gets here, 9 March gets here, and nothing has changed, then I believe in the plan that you got, because I really don't want to be cornered by Todd France or the Dak camp on having to lock up exclusively and never really reach a deal, and then next year he just walks with no compensation.
Right.
That's the worst case scenario, and I really don't want to get cornered in that approach. So I believe in your plan, but that's only, again, I break the glass because right now I've exhausted all options, and that's my last option.
All right, I'm going to leave the discussion on this. So moving the chains. Of course, she says she wrote about this as well on her new blog, so make sure to check that out. Also, some good friends of ours, Cowboys in Chaos, they did come out with their new podcast tonight, so make sure you go and check that out as well. Really, really good stuff, man, by those guys. So I'm going to leave this at this. James, you and I had a conversation at one point in time, and we discussed Dak and his contract, and I asked you, I said, if there was no concern about the financial situation that we're in or the contracts that we may have mishandled before this, would you sign Dak? And your answer was yes. So to me, it's about value. It's about the value of what you have in the quarterback that we currently have, as opposed to bringing in a rookie and having to basically start over, or bringing in a subpar quarterback who's really going to be a second stringer or roughly a starter. I'm just not interested in that. I'm interested in what we have in the current quarterback that we have right now. But we'll leave it at that. Camber, do you have anything else to say about the Dak Prescott contract situation?
Just pay the man. Just pay him. No, I mean, this thing's going to go on for
all summer.
This is our own cowboy torment that they're going to just. We're going to keep beating this dead horse until March 9th, possibly. So.
February 23rd.
Yeah, okay.
Look, this thing. Hey, no, look, last thing, Zach. Look, let me ask the prediction.
Okay.
When is this thing? Look. When is this thing over with Dak? Is it closer to the 23rd or is it closer to the 9th? What's you guys' thoughts on that? When is it over? Do they agree to something before we get to the tag window or not?
I'm going to say, first off, I think we all need to take a shot before the end of the show, according to Nick. And secondly, I think it's going to be later rather than sooner. I think they're waiting to see how he's doing, how he's healing, and they're going to want to see him moving around, see him mobile, to see where they're at, because I don't blame them. As a business decision, you want to make sure that the product is there, then it looks good. I'm not just going to throw away money. You want to make sure that it looks good. And you don't pay people for what they did for your team. You pay them for what they're going to do. So they're looking into that. But I think it'll be later. And ultimately, I think the deal will get done. That's just my opinion.
I bet you that mic.
You can have it.
I bet you that cool ass mic. So I can stop using these headphones.
I got two.
Yeah.
All right, so Cowboys Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
It's time. Frankie, give it to me.
Okay,
you got to put your top four. Now, here's the thing. Look, it could be player, it could be coach, it could be front office, but it can only be the four people that best represents the Cowboys organization.
I think my first two are easy. I think Tom Landry is going to be my number one, and Emmitt Smith is going to be my number two. The next two is going to be very, very hard, because I'll probably have 5, 6 for one spot, and any name I throw up out of that list is, it's worthy, and it'll hurt me to leave anyone out. But if you twist my arm and you make me, I'm probably gonna put Roger Staubach as number 3.
Gotta be.
And man, who's gonna be my 4? Do I go in easy and throw some? It ain't gonna be Jerry, it ain't gonna be Jimmy, because I love those guys to death, but they don't make that list for me. I'm sorry.
Okay, who is it? Pick that 4.
But Nick's got to stop.
Yeah.
Nick's out of control over there.
Look, he said Worley. This brother said Worley. Daryl Worley.
Nick is killing me right now.
All right, hey Frankie, come on, hit me with that 4th one, man.
I'm having a tough time coming up with number 4. Come back to me. Let's come back to me.
We're gonna give you 15 more seconds, player. You got to pick your 4th one because I don't want you to hear Camber's. You got 15 seconds. Pick your 4th one.
My number 4. Look, I'm gonna go Michael Irvin.
There you go. All right, so you got Irvin.
Michael Irvin.
Yes,
right.
My guy.
Right. You're just cutting people with scissors and shit. Okay, I got you. You're just cutting people that don't get up out your chair because you think you should get a haircut with scissors. Michael, you gonna put scissors on the mountain with him?
I like dogs.
Look. All right, is this how you gonna put them on the mountain? Look.
Yes.
Is he gonna be on the mountain snorting
with a white line?
He gonna have a piece of. All right, Camber.
Still came to practice every day. Dedication. High as a kite.
Goodness.
Don't matter. Camber.
All right. So he's got two of mine, Michael Irving and Emmitt Smith. And then I went a different direction. We've all talked about this one. Larry Allen
Okay.
Yes,
and Bob Hayes.
Very worthy.
Ooh,
Bullet
she
Bob
came
Very
with
worthy.
Bullet Bob.
Bullet Bob. Yep.
She came with Bullet Bob. All right. And this is look, I love this topic because it gets to show how long we've been rocking with the team. But look, y'all, let me get the unpopular one out the way. Jerry is on my Mount Rushmore. I think there's only a few people that look. I know he's, I know that dude has done some stuff in the last 25 years has sucked, but you don't think of the Dallas Cowboys without thinking of Jerry Jones, right, wrong, or indifferent. He's done some great things for the league. He's in the Hall of Fame. I think Jerry Jones is on the Mount Rushmore. I obviously think Tom Landry, he's the most iconic coach in the NFL, period. I think if it's two people, more than Jimmy or more than any player, for me, when you think Dallas Cowboys, you would be hard pressed not to think of Jerry Jones and Tom Landry. And my other two is the all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith. He's on there, and then Roger Staubach for me. Those are my four, and I think that represents the the full swath of Cowboy greatness up to this point. So again, for me, it's Jerry Jones, it's Roger Staubach, it's Emmitt Smith, and Tom Landry.
Okay. I like it. Hey, I got my guy up there, Mike. Everybody want to be like Mike. Everybody want to be like Mike.
Hey, we're close. He got 3 out of 4 for me. Him and I are close.
It is the voice of this team. Period. That he's a dog. Mike is a dog. He's always gonna be he gets me hyped up every time he speaks. I don't give a shit when he's gonna be 90 years old and he's still gonna be getting me hyped up when he speaks. Love Mike. Gotta put him up there. So Mike, God, I don't know if I want to put Jerry up there. Part of me does.
Jerry's gonna have his own.
That's
statue.
what we said.
He's gonna have his own statue. He's not gonna share it with anybody. He's
Doesn't
got his
matter.
own thing going on over here.
Exactly. He don't give a damn. He gonna put his face covering all of them.
Right. Big arm comes down.
Gotta go with Captain America. Gotta have Captain America on there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Emmett's gotta be on there. And I'm also gonna join Camber. Bullet Bob Hayes, man.
Woo!
Bullet Bob Hayes. Man,
Wow.
was a beast. It was tough. It was between him and Bob Lilly, and I was like, I went Bullet Bob. I like it. All right, Cowboys.
I can always tell you young fools, y'all young whippersnappers, y'all ain't giving that old school no respect. Put some respect on Tom Landry's name. Put some respect on that man's name.
I love Tom. That's really hard. I'm not gonna lie. That's really hard. But I'm a player.
I'm going out and getting me a
player
fedora.
guy.
I'm going out and getting me a fedora.
Mm.
In order of Tom, getting me a fedora. Yeah, Frankie with his look at that new school stuff. What is that? I'm getting me a fedora.
Mike's got his picks. Landry, Lilly, Staubach.
Yeah, that's a good list.
That's a damn good list. Damn good list, man. I love it.
You can tell he's old school. He threw the obvious Emmett, but he went to the roots.
Yep. All right, so that's it for the show today. Frankie, tell them where they can find you once again, please, sir.
Guys, you can find me at Frankie Kenneth L on Twitter.
There you go. Cam going to Daytona 500 tomorrow. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's do it. All right, tell them where they can find you, Cam.
On Twitter at TOO_MuchCamber.
That's right. And pay Dak.
Hey, Dak. Say it once. Just say it once for me.
0 fun. It's because we didn't take a shot, Nick. Is it because we didn't take a shot? He had 0 fun. I'm not gonna finish this off. I'm not doing it. This is a big shot.
Look, Camber had me. Look, this is how Camber had me.
Right.
Oh, good God. I'm too old for this
She
shit.
did the designated driver version.
I'm too you chug a water.
Trust me, I will have plenty of that this weekend in Daytona.
Hey, enjoyed having you, fam. Hey, Frankie, Cam, y'all got to come back.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Yes.
This is great.
Hey, thanks for everybody coming in. Make sure to go and check us out. That's Star Boys Podcast, XXO Show on YouTube. Just make sure to check us out. We're out, Cowboys Nation.
Right on. Love.